Fortis side. We were the first ones to report that minority shareholders were unhappy. Then, we also did report that Dr. Pai is looking to sweeten the offer, and now you have a new development which has come in, which says that IHH may actually, has given a bid to the Fortis management. This is coming on Wednesday. Let's go across to my colleague Ashwin Mohan. He has been tracking the story. Ashwin, what's the latest? What do you think this offer does?
Pankaj, this is turning into almost a chess game of sorts rather than a plain vanilla M&A deal, because, with every passing day, both sides are trying to outsmart and out-strategize each other. This is definitely a surprise because Malaysia's IHH waited very, very patiently. In fact, they waited for that revised offer to come in from TPG and Manipal, and 2 days later, they've come up with an offer that is better than the revised offer made by Ranjan Pai and TPG. The revised offer of Ranjan Pai and TPG had, of course, offered a more favorable swap ratio. In fact, it had also valued Fortis Hospitals a little better by almost 21%. But this offer that we believe has been sent in the form of a letter to the Fortis board, in fact, pegs the value of the deal at 160 rupees per share, 10 rupees more than what Manipal and TPG had offered. It values the company at about $1.3 billion. So now it's going to be a very, very interesting take as far as the Fortis board is concerned. Who would they go with? Would they go with somebody with whom they have already publicly announced a deal, or do they go with a last moment entry which has offered a sweeter offer? The other part of this is that IHH has also sought some extra time, for a little more due diligence so that they can make a proper formal bid. So that's where the deal stands as of now. It will be interesting to see whether or not Ranjan Pai in fact looks at any further sweetening, but that's something that he clarified to us yesterday when he spoke exclusively on ET Now, saying that what he believes is that he has made a fair bid for Fortis and that he's unlikely to sweeten it any further. So, like I said, it's almost like a game of chess, and IHH seems to have played the waiting game really well.
Ashwin, just to pick up the point that you just said, it's a game of chess, and of course there are some underlying assets that they are bidding for which have a value. You think that in this game of chess, minority shareholders could benefit? Somebody could go ahead and overbid for an asset to buy it out, because you don't get such assets so easily.
Absolutely. Fortis Healthcare is, we are talking about India's largest M&A healthcare deal, and if you look at it from the point of view of Manipal Hospitals, if Manipal Hospitals were to successfully acquire Fortis, then that would put them at the top of the domestic league, rivaling even listed Apollo hospitals in terms of the number of beds. On the other hand, you have IHH, which has not made any big bang entry in the hospital space in India. So strategically, this deal is extremely important for both these bidders. But in the midst of all this, clearly the minority shareholders and their opinion does matter a lot, because at the end of the day, when the deal comes to vote, there are minority shareholders, including Yes Bank and a few foreign funds, who hold collectively around 40% stake, and they will hold sway. So at the end of the day, if one needs to look at this deal, one needs to look at this deal from the point of view of the minority shareholders. And let's wait and watch to see whether they are indeed happy with the revised offer of Fortis. And let's also not forget the fact that Fortis is yet to disclose this new offer that has come in from IHH to the stock exchanges. We can expect that anytime now. But really, minority shareholders are at the top of the game over here, and they are the ones who will in fact be the deciding factor at the end of the day, because this is a board, of course, which has been constituted earlier, and the composition of the board also has been questioned. So in this particular deal, minority shareholders like Yes Bank, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and others, they are the ones who will finally have the sway.
Thanks, Ashwin, for keeping us up to speed with what all is happening when it comes to Fortis. Like he very well pointed out, it looks like a game of chess, and IHH, well, perhaps they did well and just waiting by for their move. But Geojit Financial Services, Gaurang Shah, says that Fortis still has a long way to go in terms of gaining investor trust back. He believes either bid, Manipal or IHH, would be beneficial for the company, but they still have a lot of mess to clean up. Listen in.
Long term, I think there needs to do a lot of cleanup job for whoever gets the Fortis, company with credible management. They will need to do a lot of legwork, groundwork to improve the state of affair of the balance sheet. And of course, not to forget, there are a lot of issues in the recent past which the company had to deal with, which was on the negative side. Minority shareholders will benefit as long as both of them want to outsmart each other. But when it comes to cleaning up, I think it's going to be a long haul.